Hi everybody, this is the baseball head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hud, and welcome back to the baseball head 2. And hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So as you know, if you didn't need to know this, but you're going to need to know this, you'll know this obviously next year. Major League Baseball is going to implement the robot umpires. It's about damn time, folks, because you know what? That's needed. I mean, we've seen so many bad calls for many years. And since Major League Baseball doesn't want to do anything about improving the umpiring, I guess they figured they want to create some more really useless jobs for their corporation. Instead of improving the umpiring and raising the standards of the umpiring, they're going to lower the standards of the umpiring now, because this is what's going on. I mean, they implemented the replay because they were messing up so many calls at first base. They still mess up the calls at first base. According to a report, and saw this online earlier, this past week, there were about 1,000 missed calls by the umpiring crews throughout Major League Baseball. That's pretty bad. So MLB has announced this today. Let me read you a headline from Fox News. MLB votes to allow robot umpires for challenges during 2026 season. Now, they have this in the minor leagues, but the ABS challenge system was used this past spring training with pitchers and hitters showing satisfaction. Now, they've had this in the minor leagues for a few years, and it's pretty successful. It's really, let me read you this. For the first time in MLB history, balls and strikes will be able to be challenged starting in the 2026 regular season. The automated ball strikes, the ABS challenge system, which was featured during spring training, tested at the big league level, will be implemented after the Joint Competition Committee voted for it on Tuesday afternoon. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred made an announcement on the massive change to the game of baseball. Quote, previous rule changes that have been adopted by the Joint Competitive Committee have had staying power and create momentum for the game, he said in a statement. We use the same process with ABS that started with listening to fans, conducting extensive testing at the minor league level, and trying at every step to make the game better. But the umpiring has gotten worse since they've done all this. Again, Major League Baseball has not done anything about the quality of the umpiring. And the quality of the umpiring is going to get worse. Let me get back to this. We use the same process with ABS that started with listening to fans, conducting extensive testing at the minor league level, and trying at every step to make the game better. Throughout this process, we have worked on deploying the system in a way that's acceptable to players. The strong preference from players for the challenge format over using the technology to call every pitch was a key factor in determining the system we are announcing today. But again, umpires still keep messing up plays at first base. It gives them a reason to not get it right. And there have been times where even if they go to the challenge system, they still screw it up. Now, this is going to be different with the balls and strikes because they're going to leave it to the pitcher, the catcher, and the hitter. So only 3 individuals can really manage this. But a team can only get 2 challenges during a game. Meaning if they can get 2 challenges, but if they miss 1 challenge, they lose it. So that's kind of where we are right now with this. But if we had better umpiring, if we had a better situation with the umpire, it's funny. Growing up, the umpires were so totally out of shape, but 99% of the time, they always got the calls right. Like Garrett Gregg was totally out of shape. John McSherry was out of shape. I mean, these guys were completely out of shape, overweight guys, and they were great umpires, and they always got the calls right. All the umpires now are sterile. They all look the same. They're all in great shape, but can't get the calls right. They're always out of position. The big fat guys were never out of position, ever. Because that's about excellence, okay? A couple of things that basically has destroyed the umpiring is the uniformity. Getting rid of the league, getting rid of the American League office and the National League office. And what that has done is you get rid of competition to where they're all bundled up as Major League umpires. The National League always had their own style of umpiring, and the American League had its own style. The American League, they had the big puffy pads. They had their own sort of little personality to them. And you don't see that today. Everything's uniform. All the calls are generic. There's no like Dutch Vernon, goes, come on. You never see that. And some of you older people that watch these videos, you remember these people. You remember these guys. And they were all great. All of them. Well, a few of them sucked. A few of them sucked. But, I mean, Doug Harvey, one of the great umpires. Frank Poli, one of the great umpires. These guys never made mistakes. Never made mistakes, very rarely. And you have people like, Rob Manfred not like talking about the standards. The standards must be better in Major League Baseball. I do not think that the umpiring will get better based on this. It's going to get worse. It's good that they have replay for every play. But there are judgment calls about being the base path or whatever. Those are still based on what the umpires, see. Also, a lot of these umpires, quite a few of these umpires don't know all the rules. So there are times during these games where things pop up and the umpire doesn't know the rule themselves, which they should know. Like I said, the umpiring in Major League Baseball has been terrible for at least 20 years. And it's gotten precipitously worse as we bring in more replay. I mean, we brought in the replays on the home run calls, which is great because you got all these different ballparks. It's not, the ballparks aren't all conforming to each other, to where you have the same like field rules. Home field advantage. There's no home field rules. So what's going on is you got different like dimensions, different height of the wall. All these different things that fans are close to, and to the field, and they are in other ballparks. So you have all these differences. So you kind of need the replay on the balls that are like fair or foul, or whether they're hit the back of the at Citi Field they had to change dimensions a little bit, the life of the ballpark. So things have changed there where they had to change the rules there. But from ballpark, that's important to have the replay, especially in those situations, and in the home run call, because just the Citi Field as an example, the foul pole does not go that high up. Okay, it only goes up to a certain point and then it stops. So you kind of need that replay to help you out a little bit. That's what the value of the replay is. But even then, they mess up the calls, the umpires, and like they'll put the bad umpire. I remember some games they would say, "Oh, Angel Hernandez is in the office. He's in the office in Manhattan, so he's gonna screw he's gonna screw it up." And there were times over the years where umpires, in New York would screw up calls. We've seen that. But hopefully this we'll get better balls and strikes. Now, I would mention that the one rule that I am very appreciative of is the 18 to the 16 seconds, 18 seconds that they put on the clock. I think that there is value to that because the games do go a lot faster and you don't really even notice it. I was not a big fan of the netting coming into Major League Baseball because I felt that you got to pay attention at all times at the ballpark. But there are a lot of people that are always on their cell phones. You kind of need it. And when you go to the ballpark, you don't even notice the fence. You see right through it. You don't even notice it. It's a soft fence. It's just to protect people from, not looking. There's a lot of times, and a lot of them go to the park and they're just looking at their phones and they're not really paying attention. And it's just the way to pay attention is to just not. You don't have to worry about some kid getting hit by a bat because he was looking down or eating his cotton candy. You don't have to worry about that. So I was wrong about that, but I'm glad they put that in. You don't really notice it. And I'm pretty happy with the time limit, the clock. That's fine. The pitch clock is fine. But we'll see how the ABS system is. It'll probably be okay. It'll probably be fine for the most part. I don't see any issues with that, in my opinion. And it'll make it a lot easier. Although the one thing that it does take out of is the tension between the umpires and the managers and the players. That's the one thing that it'll take out of this situation. But there's always issues. There's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be some kind of tension going on there, especially when you're trying to win a pennant or trying to win a game. But let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Head too. And I'll see you later.